Hello everyone, this is my deck profile for my EU WCQ Zefras. I played 48 cards just because I wanted to play all these cards currently in the main deck. And yeah, that's all there is to it. Let's get going. First I play 3 copies of Zefras. It's of course obviously the best monster in the deck. Then 2 Zefranio. 2 is enough. I know a lot of people play 3 copies, but I feel like anytime I need Zefranio, I have it, so I didn't miss a third one. Then 2 copies of Zefraxi. The synchro monsters I can make like Chao Feng and Metaphys Horus are just that good that I find myself needing 2 Zefraxi often. 3 is definitely not needed in my opinion though. 1 Wendy to recover plays. Then 1 Zefraxstone, 1 Zefrathuban, 2 pop cards. Then I play this Mythical Beast engine, 3 Cerberus. It's just a searcher for Jackal King, and then Jackal King summons this one. And obviously they're good as a Electromite engine, but Master Cerberus banish effect and protection effect actually come up like often enough for me to like actually mention them. Sometimes like you can't out Master Cerberus with an Afterburners, so they need to use like Widow Anchor or something suboptimal to get over it. Then Jackal King of course complements the engine and works as a monster negate if I activate any spell, so yeah, obviously good cards. Then the 3 Chronographs and 1 Time Gazer. Chronograph is of course good in any Pendulum deck, and I can make Ptolemy or Sheridan, or even use the Odice engine with this card really well, so I love this. 1 Time Gazer, it's kind of a Garnet, but if I normal summon it and use Zefrath, they can't augur the Zefrath, so that's of course something that you need to like remember and should remember. 2 Darkworm. I always want to have at least 1 in deck in my first turn, so just so I can special summon it and make Electromite more easily. And yeah, it's not a bad normal summon, but I always want to have 1 in the deck, that's why I'm playing 2. 1-0, I was thinking about another one, but obviously I'm already like 8 cards over 40, and I don't draw these too often, so yeah, I like the 1 copy. Then I have the 3 Odice cards here. Odice Dissolver. Odice Dissolver makes either Vortex Dragon or Gatling Ghoul, and it can get over Naturia Beast, Anti-Spell, and Spell Canceller. So I'm actually thinking of running more copies of it. It's just that it can be bricky with as a level 8 monster and a scale 4, so I'm not sure. But oftentimes I found this card really useful, and it was one of the best performing cards the whole weekend. 1 Persona Dragon to search off of Sky Iris. It also works as an extra deck negate, and as a scale 1 that has no drawbacks, it can help me Pendulum summon Jackal King and Chronograph and Darkworm, so yeah, a very good card as well. Then Odice Synchron I did not like too much. It can make Stardust Charge or Metaphys Horus, but without the Calamities engine, or the Gotham's Cloud Castle Calamities combo, I don't think it's like needed. I sided it out a lot and I didn't miss it too much, so yeah, I don't think this was a good addition after all. I only play 3 Ash just because it's the most versatile, it comes up the most, and like Ghost Ogre's not that good at this format, except against like Pendulum. But then there's Troll, that's good against the best decks, but I just felt like I don't want to run too many hand traps when I'm going first, just cause if I have run too many hand traps, I can't make my own board, and that's just I don't like that at all. I of course sided more hand traps when I'm going second, but Ash is the most versatile one, and I didn't want to brick with too many hand traps, just because this is a combo deck after all. And the last monster is 1 copy of Destrudo. Destrudo works with Dragon Shrine, and it helps that if I already have access to Dark Worm, I can send Destrudo to make like Yazi or Dawn Dragster, Black Rose. Very good card. Of course, the life point cost can be quite bad when you're going into time, but of course you side it out if you're like near the end of time. As for spells, we have 3 Providence. It's a searcher card, so obviously you play 3, and it can protect any Zefra. So if you already have this card, your scales can be Twin Twisted, and it can even protect Zefra Metaltron, which comes up quite a lot and helps you trigger Zefra Metaltron's effect to recover resources. Then 3 Oracles. Oracle's another search card, and you have access to it through terraforming as well. And you can stack any monster and draw Ash or draw Destrudo using Charge Warrior or Electromite and any other synchro. Yeah, good card. Then Dragon Shrine. It's a hard once per turn, but I just feel like any hand where I can get Dark Worm Engrave is a good hand. So I run 3, just for like, so I see it on my first turn. 1 Foolish Burial just like basically acts as a 3rd copy of Dragon Shrine. 4th copy, I mean. And then 3 Terraforming. It can search Oracle or any of the other 2 field spells I run. I wouldn't run Terraforming if I didn't run any other field spells, but right now it's working just fine. Then 1 Set Rotation. Set Rotation is like godlike, and it's like limited for a good reason. I would run more if I could, but that's just how it is. Using this against Trickstars means they can't use Light Stage, and it takes a lot less damage, and they can't just shut down your counter traps, and they can't even evenly match you. So if they go to battle phase, just flip Set Rotation, give them Oracle, and now that they have Oracle, unless they have a Zefra monster in their deck, they can't activate the Oracle, so they're basically locked out of field spells unless they somehow waste their own cards just without the Oracle. And even in that case, that means they didn't use the removal on my cards, so basically I'm still winning. 1 Sky Iris. This is to search for the Odd Ice Dissolver, basically. Maybe. Yeah. I want to run more Odd Ice Dissolver, basically. And yeah, Sky Iris worked well. If you destroy something and have Chronograph in hand, you add Dissolver, then Chronograph activates in the new chain, and you summon it with Dissolver and make Vortex Dragon. So Sky Iris, I loved it. Regular Ravine I did not like as much. Of course it's good, because you can get Dark Worm Engrave, but it's just so fragile, and if it gets Ogred or Ashed, you neg so hard. Yeah, did not like Ravine too much. It works fine when it doesn't get disrupted, but it's a risky card, a really risky card. We have then 3 traps, 1 Zephyr War, 1 Divine Strike, and 1 9 Pillars. These are all for different scenarios, and I did not want to run more, just because if these 3 are not enough, I don't think the situation is going to get any better if you have more. And drawing them in your opening hand is really suboptimal, because that means you can't make as big of a board, usually at least, unless the rest of your hand is just like really good. Yeah, so 1 of each. Then for extra deck we have 2 copies of Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. This is not really an Electromite turbo build, like there's Electromite turbo cards just so that I can get to the first one, but I don't need to make 3 like the 60 card Pendulum decks too. Yeah, no Firewall or Griffin here, so 2 is just fine. I often use 2, but 3 is too much, just because I like to have versatility and different options to toolbox from for different scenarios. 1 Metaltron. Of course it's a Zefra monster, so you get like additional effects in this deck, but in addition to that it of course has the 3 arrows and is used in pretty much any Pendulum deck. Not more to say about Zefra Metaltron. 1 Borreload just to out problem monsters and other Borreloads. Didn't make it too much, but yeah, obviously it's a very amazing card. For synchros we have the MVP, Chao-Feng. This one just shuts down Gorkis. Like if you make this with the Zefras Zings, they can't use any Earth monster effects. So they in their possession. So no searching in grave, no marauding captain. They can make it all day, but if you like back it Chao-Feng up with counter traps, it's just usually win. And even if they have something to destroy Chao-Feng, just add Ash after that so we get additional disruption. Yeah, Chao-Feng like a win condition against Gorky and even Spiral. Some people still play Spirals. One Yazi, this card can be targeted, so some decks might have problems outing it, like Burning Abyss or Altergeist. Of course, Altergeist might just get rid of it with their traps, but the monsters can't really out Yazi. Then, yeah, a solid card, spot removal and floats. Then Black Rose Dragon for the red reboot play. I did not make this even once, but I just want to always have it as an option, because I've done it multiple times before, not in this tournament. Then FA Dawn Dragster works as a spell negation, yeah, and it also negates evenly matched, that's important. Then Metaphor's Horse, probably my favorite synchro monster in the deck. Just non-target steal one of your opponent's monsters, so what's not to like? It can even negate anti-spell or any like floodgates that might be troublesome, or Dragonic Diagram, any field spells, yeah, any face-up card on the field permanently. Then Charge Warrior, just to stack monster with Oracle, draw one. Yeah, a pretty standard Zephyr combo, can search for Ash, can search for Droll. I almost cut it, but I just felt like it might come up, and stacking like Droll against combo decks is really fantastic. Then 3 Xyz monsters, 1 Vampire Sheridan. This combos well with Horus, so you make Horus first, and then overlay the monster you steal with Horus with Sheridan to pop another card. So you just break the board with Sheridan, and probably revive something with it as well. So yeah, I like Sheridan a lot, I made it a few times. People had to read it quite often actually. Then Messiah 7. Just return your hand traps from your graveyard to your hand, or out monsters that can't be destroyed or something. I made it a few times, I liked it. Then Tornado Dragon against back row decks like Altergeist, making this first. If you know you're playing against traps, you just destroy one card in the end phase and one card at the start of your turn. So they'll just lose 2 of their traps, and if you can back it up with other negations or Twin Twisters, that's just an auto win. Lastly, for the extra deck, we have 2 fusion monsters. Odice Vortex Dragon, which most people probably know about, and then Gatling Ghoul. I did not make Gatling Ghoul once. I saw, I was watching a Zephyr deck profile on Team King of Games channel, and I saw Gatling Ghoul used in Zefras just to like get some burn damage in when you're going to time, so you don't auto lose the Trickstars, and if you go first you can just cheese your way out and win with Gatling Ghoul. It can also out Borreload and deal massive damage, so in theory it's good. It's just that there was never a time when I needed to make Gatling Ghoul the whole tournament, so maybe that means it's not that good. Well, I still like the idea. Then we have the side deck. 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ras Fear Mode. I did not play against Gorky even once in the main event, so Ras Fear Mode was not that good for me, but in theory it works of course. Then 3 copies of Drowned Lockbird. This I sided in often when I went second. Of course it's a good card, I just don't feel like I have space for it in the main deck. Then 3 Veilers. Veilers just good against many decks. It's not like an auto win against anything, but it's semi-good against most decks, and I just want to have lots of hand traps when I'm going second. 3 Twin Twisters for any back row decks. Pure Sky Striker as well. I liked it more than Cosmic Cyclone, just cause when I want to use back row removal I usually want to hit multiple cards. So of course the discard can sometimes hurt, but overall I'm not disappointed I was using Twin Twisters. Then lastly 3 red reboot against any rogue decks like Paleozoic and of course Altergeist. Yeah, just shut their turn completely and OTK or just out the back row with Tornado Dragon and Twin Twisters after that. Yeah, that's it for the deck profile. As for the tournament, yeah, I went 4-4. My losses were against Trickstar Mekk-Knight, Pure Sky Striker, and 2 Trickstar Sky Strikers. Oh wait, 1 Trickstar Sky Striker and 1 Altergeist. Then I won against Invoked Mekk-Knight, 2 Trickstar Sky Strikers, and 1 Pure Sky Striker. Overall, I think I want to cut it down a little. Obviously, I want to run as few cards as possible. It's just I don't want to cut anything. I ran all the cards I wanted, no more, no less. The other synchron is probably going to be cut, and I'm going to test with using more dissolvers, just cause I actually got pretty lucky. Each time my opponent got like Naturia Beast or something, I had Dissolver ready, so I didn't auto lose to Naturia Beast. Yeah, it was a fun tournament, but I don't want to ramble too much. So if you have any comments or questions about the deck, I'll happily answer them in the comments below. So see you guys next time. Bye.